I'm sorry, baby, I love you.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 things only adults notice in DreamWorks movies.
There's only one thing I like better than money. Revenge.
The movies may be made for kids, but for this list, we'll be looking at jokes, sight gags, and references that you have to be an adult to really understand. Which is your favorite adult-geared moment in a DreamWorks movie? Let us know in the comments. Number 20. Kiss My Artichoke. Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. As with many a conquering hero, when Victor enters the village after having apparently taken down the were-rabbit, the villagers ask him to don kisses upon their treasured belongings.
Lisa, kiss my baby!
Yes, another time perhaps.
Kiss my potato!
Not now.
Kiss my artichoke.
Look.
Kiss My Baby seems pretty reasonable, Kiss My Potato a little less so, but the completion of that joke is something a little more rude. This will probably be caught mostly by those dwelling in the UK or Australia, where the term arse is a more common term for one's behind than it is in Western English-speaking parts of the world.
But the good news is, your prize vegetables are the perfect bait and will draw the creature like a magnet. But you must keep totally still. Don't flinch.
Number 19. A different kind of iced tea. The Boss Baby. Ah, the Long Island iced tea. While the name suggests the sweet and innocent beverage of our youth, the result of drinking a glass of this stuff is usually anything but innocent. The uber-alcoholic drink has fooled many an adult throughout its history, and not just Sheldon Cooper.
Ooh. Boy, that is a treat that's hard to beat. Get the Mad Hatter on the horn, I'm having a tea party.
Which is why it's funny when 7-year-old Tim and Boss Baby hitch a ride with a group of party girls. Tim exits the limo with a drink in his hands, takes a sip, and proclaims the inability of the people of Long Island to make a good iced tea.
Have a fun lady party.
Chicks dig babies.
The people of Long Island do not know how to make an iced tea.
He throws the drink away, which is probably something we've all wished we'd done upon awaking the morning after. Number 18. Jeweled Bra. Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. Adults probably don't watch a DreamWorks animated movie with their kids and think it will lead to having to explain the term brothel, but that might have happened to a few who watched Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas with some youngins. In one scene, as Marina looks through Sinbad's things, she comes across a bra with jewels hanging from it. To herself, she posits that this little treasure must have come from a brothel in Syracuse.
Stolen from Venezia, from Pompeii, and from a brothel in Syracuse.
Good guess.
And just to add a little more PG-13 humor to the scene, Sinbad, who'd entered the room behind her, confirms her assumptions. Not that any adults would be surprised by that. He is a pirate.
We do hope you have a pleasant stay aboard the Chimera. Oh, if he starts hugging your leg, it means he likes you.
Number 17. Not just a garden tool. The Cat in the Hat. One might expect to hear a character say the words dirty and hoe side by side if we were watching an R-rated comedy or a crime film. But in this case, the character speaking those words is the titular cat from 2003's The Cat in the Hat.
Cat, you scared him away!
Dirty hoe. I'm sorry, baby, I love you.
How did they get away with using such a line in a movie geared towards kids and families? Well, he's actually holding a garden hoe with dirt all over it. So while the younger crowd is witnessing the scene on a purely literal level, the adults in the audience are chortling at the naughty double entendre. They probably also giggled a little when the cat's hat stiffened upon looking at a picture of the kid's mother.
Who is this? Oh.
That's my mom.
Awkward.
Number 16. Wolverine costume. Flushed Away. In Flushed Away, Hugh Jackman voices the main character, Roddy, a rat who, well, actually it really doesn't matter. The important part here is that the character is voiced by Jackman, the same Hugh Jackman who plays the famed Wolverine.
Hey, it's me.
Prove it.
You're a dick.
Okay.
In one scene of Flushed Away, Roddy is picking out an outfit to wear and narrows it down to two choices: a bedazzled Elvis-inspired one-piece and a yellow getup that, as comic book fans will know, is Wolverine's classic costume.
Nope. 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 Nope.
For a long time, this was the closest we got to seeing the actor don the outfit until Deadpool 3. Number 15. Whitefish stereotype. Shark Tale. There's a scene in Shark Tale where Oscar, voiced by Will Smith, is doing a specific handshake. But when another fish tries to emulate him and can't, Oscar tells his friend not to worry, and that a lot of white fish can't do it.
Hey, baby, this is all gravy today. Now snap your fin right on it. Snap it.
Oscar.
You're not snapping it.
Oscar.
Oh, hey, don't sweat it, Sykes. A lot of white fish can't do it.
This is similar to a 1992 joke from White Men Can't Jump. So if there were any kids watching Shark Tale in 2004 who'd seen the previously mentioned 90s comedy, then maybe they would have picked up on the joke.
You get off the court, you lost, brother.
Nah, ease back, fat man. Just give me a second, Mr. Brady Bunch here. Now, you might be able to pull a couple of passes out your ass. But see, that don't mean you still know how to play this game.
But we think it's safe to assume that it was pretty much only adults chuckling at that one. And we kind of hope it was only grown-ups who got the smoking seaweed gag on the magazine cover too. Number 14. Darn You All to Heck. Madagascar. The end scene in Planet of the Apes is one of the most famous moments in the history of the franchise. Having said that, we're going to assume some of the younger audience watching Madagascar aren't familiar with Charlton Heston's moment of desperate realization on the beach.
Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Many older viewers, on the other hand, even if they've never seen the film, might at least have some familiarity with the iconic scene. Which brings us back to Madagascar and Alex's wonderfully similar sand-pounding moment in front of his burned down, hand-built Statue of Liberty.
You burned it up! Darn you! Darn you all to heck!
Number 13. Almost Every Inch. The Prince of Egypt. One probably wouldn't expect an animated movie for kids to reference Moses' genitalia, but in The Prince of Egypt, that's exactly what we get. Now, admittedly, it's fairly subtle, but for the adults in the room, it's most definitely there.
You.
When the women of Midian are bathing Moses after his lengthy sojourn in the desert, he implores them to stop, saying that they've already cleaned every inch of him. Needless to say, the ladies don't stop, leading to Moses' vocal realization that there were, shall we say, a few more inches they hadn't washed yet.
Whoa,
I was wrong.
Number 12. Viagra. Shrek 2. When Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots sneak into the fairy godmother's factory, you might remember that the potion room features some fun play on words names, like Hexlax and Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer?
Hexlax? No, try handsome.
Sorry, no handsome.
While a younger crowd may or may not get those puns, the one that's a little more risque can be found on the conveyor belt during the introduction of the factory. On a bottle filled with bluish liquid, a label reads Viagra, with an F. Let's call this one a dad joke for the dads, if you know what we mean. And speaking of dad jokes, how about the Big Bad Wolf's magazine of choice?
What?
Princess Fiona?
No!
Number 11. Puss's Panic Attacks. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. It's not easy being a kid, but we can probably all agree that, as adults, we have much more to deal with, and many more avenues for stress that can affect our physical and mental well-being. The anxiety, the elevated heart rate, the heavy breathing. Even if we've never had a panic attack as it's defined clinically, watching Puss have his is completely recognizable. It's that much closer to reality when we see the way Perito tries to soothe him. As anyone who has a dog knows, the calming effect they can have on us and our stress levels is enormous. It's a truly sweet and relatable moment.
Thank you, Perrito.
What's going on with you, Puss?
I am down to my last life.
Number 10. What's in the Bottle, Kid? The Boss Baby. With a film that essentially gives a baby the mind of an adult, you're bound to get a few jokes like this one.
I can handle him. I know how important this mission is to the company.
Mission?
Well, trust me, ma'am. You've got the right baby for this job.
Hands up, devil baby!
Fart poop duty!
There's a scene where Boss Baby explains his identity to Tim. After a long day of being the boss, he lounges around in his diapers, socks, dress shirt, and tie.
Give me a double espresso and see if there's some place around here with decent sushi. I'd kill for a spicy tuna roll right about now. Get yourself a little something.
We half expected a risky business dance number here, but alas, Boss Baby unlocks a safe, grabs a baby bottle and a cocktail shaker to make his drink, and kicks back with his beverage for the evening.
Called efficiency, Templeton. The average toddler spends, 45 hours a year on the potty? I'm the boss. I don't have that kind of spare time.
We're not claiming that there's anything other than milk in the bottle, but it is pretty suspicious that it's kept in a vault. Just saying.
You're not the boss of me.
I am the boss of you.
No, you're not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
I was here first.
Number 9. Euphemisms at their finest. Kung Fu Panda. In any martial arts movie, there's sure to be a fair bit of bruising.
Let's begin.
Funnily enough, though, Poe's defeat here doesn't come from another martial artist so much as it does from the training hall. Poe is thrown around like a rag doll, and for the gauntlet of wooden warriors' finishing move, Poe is hit in the crotch.
This will be easier than I thought.
Feeling a little nauseous.
Now, there are a lot of genteelisms one might use to describe the anatomy in that area, but Poe opts for
my tenders.
We wonder just how many kids understood what he was referring to.
How did I do?
There is now a level 0.
Number 8. Incestuous Bees. Bee Movie. In case you missed out on bee biology in school, we'll give you the rundown.
Barry, why don't you use the stairs? Your father paid good money for those.
Sorry, I'm excited.
Here's the graduate. We're very proud of you, son. And a perfect report card. All bees.
The male bees mate with the one queen bee, which essentially means that the queen is everyone's mother.
Now, from what I understand, doesn't your queen give birth to all the bee children in the hives?
Yeah, but...
So those aren't even your real parents.
Oh, Barry.
Yes, they are.
The lineage gets kind of complicated, but the bottom line is that in a movie where bees, like Barry's parents, couple up, their relationship is a little closer than strictly necessary. The creators of the movie are definitely aware of this because there are a few incest jokes, with possibly the funniest one at the beginning.
Hey!
That girl was hot.
She's my cousin.
She is?
Yes, we're all cousins.
Right, you're right.
Adam says he thinks one of the bees is hot, and Barry reminds him that they're cousins.
I think bees make too big a deal out of it.
Perhaps, unless you're wearing it and the ladies see you wearing it.
Those ladies? Oh, aren't they our cousins too?
Distant.
Number 7. Cursing, but make it PG. Madagascar. Cursing is one of those things writers of children's content often need to get a little creative with, and as adults watching these films, it's always fun to see what they come up with.
Marty! Alex!
In Madagascar's scene on the beach where Marty and Alex reunite, Marty quickly realizes that Alex is a little less than happy to see him. He turns the other way, muttering, "Oh, sugar honey iced tea."
Oh, sugar honey iced tea.
Martin! Hey! Hold up!
I'm gonna kill you!
Hold up! Whoa!
You come here!
Whoa!
This is a pretty specific way to swear, but it all makes sense when you isolate the first letter of each word. Pretty clever, guys. There's also another instance where Marty exclaims "mother" after Melman gives him a pretty odd birthday gift.
Thermometer! Thanks. I love it, Melman. I love it.
Yeah, I wanted to give you something personal. You know, that was my first rectal thermometer.
It's a little less creative than the first one, but you know, it still gets the point across. Number 6. Lola, Shark Tale. While gold digging isn't the most obscene thing that could be put in a children's movie, it usually is a concept depicted in content directed at more mature audiences.
All your friends are inside.
Not all my friends.
You mean that little bottom feeder from the whale wash? Forget about her. She's a nobody.
When we're first introduced to Lola, her motives are made obvious with the way her head turns after hearing the word millionaire spoken about Oscar.
Oscar, the millionaire. The millionaire. The millionaire. Lucky day. Lucky day.
If things weren't clear enough, Gold Digger by Ludacris, Bobby V, and Lil Fate plays in the background during her intro, something that'll have adults in stitches but go right over kids' heads.
She's a gold digger. She's dangerous, super bad. Better watch out, she'll take the cash. She's a gold.
Nice bet.
Another subtler joke is in the sushi bowl scene where one lone sushi chef can't attract any customers.
Be alright.
We'd feel bad for him if not for the fact that he's a fish trying to sell sushi to other fish. Number 5. The reason Gobber never got married. How to Train Your Dragon 2. After 20 years of Valka being gone and Stoic fearing the worst, their reunion scene is nothing short of touching.
I know what you're gonna say, Stoic. How could I have done this? Stayed away all of these years, and why didn't I come back to you?
Stoic becomes, inopportunely, exactly the meaning of his name and is stunned into silence. Valka, on the other hand, begins rambling off apologies and explanations about why she never returned.
What sign did I have that you could change, Stoic? That anyone on Burke could? I pleaded so many times to stop the fighting, to find another answer, but did any of you listen?
The tension is palpable, leading Gobber to say,
"This is why I never married. This and one other reason."
Reading between the lines here, we can conclude that the second reason is simply Gobber being gay. There isn't much to speculate about here, considering that it was confirmed by screenwriter Dean DuBois.
I didn't marry you for your cooking.
I hope not. Her meatballs could kill more beasts than a battle axe. I've still got a few knocking around in here.
It's a very quick line, and we would have loved more overt representation, but it's still nice that it was included. Number 4. A joke for the history buffs. Chicken Run. Quite possibly the greatest line in this entire movie is one uttered by Fowler. To be honest, most of the best dialogue in Chicken Run comes from Fowler, but we digress.
Let her go!
The turnip's bolted.
In the scene where Rocky announces that he's from America, Fowler has this to say.
Poppycock! Pushy Americans, always showing up late for every war. Overpaid, oversexed, and over here.
In case you're not one for history, the wisecrack here is about World War II and the United States' relatively late involvement.
Yeah, with you so far. Chicken farm, chicken.
I don't like the look of this one. His eyes are too close together.
Fowler, please.
And he's a Yank.
And the second half of the jibe, well, that one's definitely not for the kiddos.
That Yank is not to be trusted.
That Yank is our ticket out of here.
And the pig says to the horse, "Hey, fella, why the long face?"
Number 3. The Cold Hard Truth. Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. When George and Harold end up in Mr. Krupp's office, the room is put on lockdown with his new state-of-the-art door, and Krupp mentions that it was worth canceling the arts and music program in order to obtain it.
Wow, that's an expensive door.
It was a choice between the magnetic automatic door closer and the music and arts programs. Pretty sure I made the right choice.
Whereas we doubt this is the case for most principals of schools, it isn't uncommon to hear about higher-ups pocketing already limited school funding or spending it in ways that don't actually benefit students.
Principal Krupp here with an announcement. This Saturday is the mandatory Invention Convention.
Yes! That's the third Saturday this month!
Plus, when it comes to budgeting, the arts are always hit the hardest. This is arguably a joke meant more for teenagers in high school who might have experienced this kind of thing firsthand. But anyone aware of this sad reality will definitely get a kick out of it too.
You must be here with your inventions at 8 a.m.
Is there no justice?
I know that's early for Saturday, but don't worry, you should be done by 9 p.m.
Number 2, Almost Caught, The Road to El Dorado. How this even made it to the final cut, we have no idea.
Oh, yeah. Oh, down. Mo! No! Big trouble!
This completely went over our heads when we were younger, but watching the scene back as adults is a little more telling. Chal sends Miguel off to explore the city. Meanwhile, she and Tulio get up to a little flirting.
I'm not really asking you to trust me, am I?
Okay. Yeah.
Things must have escalated though, because a little while later, they end up on the floor together, just out of frame. What sounds like kissing noises can be heard, but when Chal rises, it seems as though she was positioned rather low on Tulio's body.
Oh. Whoa!
My lords?
Hello?
High priest.
Ow!
What's he gonna think if he finds one of the gods like this with me?
What's more, if Tulio's expression doesn't give him away, we don't know what will.
Lucky God?
Just.
Hello? Oh!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Sarcasm sounds like trolls.
Do you know anything about romance?
Of course, I'm passionate about it.
Really?
Don't you know anything about sarcasm?
I think I had a sarcasm once.
Frankincense, myrrh, and something else were sure. Shrek the Third.
Hello, bro. Don't burn all my frankincense and myrrh.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Little Farquaad, Shrek. There are a lot of adult jokes in Shrek, but here are a few of our faves. The first has to be when Shrek and Donkey arrive at Lord Farquaad's ginormous castle. Shrek muses over whether Farquaad might be compensating for something.
That must be Lord Farquaad's castle.
That's the place.
Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
The brilliance of this quip is that there's one for kids, Farquaad's height, and another for the adults. There are also a few racier examples, one of them being in Robin Hood's ballad.
Break it down. I like an honest fight and a saucy little maid.
What he's basically saying is he likes to get paid.
Grown-ups understand what the real lyric was supposed to be, while kids are none the wiser.
Man, that was annoying.
The other gag is a reference to Snow White's living conditions, where Lord Farquaad's mirror says she isn't easy.
Bachelorette number 2 is a cape-wearing girl from the land of fancy. Although she lives with 7 other men, she's not easy. Just kiss her dead, frozen lips and find out what a live wire she is.
This was a 2001 movie, so we suppose we'll let it slide. This time. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.